Alright, welcome to the RepRap Prusa i2 extruder assembly guide. We're going to go over what parts we have here. We have our X carriage, 4 LM8 UU bearings, our electronics mounting plate, our extruder idler, and in that we already have fitted one 608ZZ bearing with the 18mm smooth rod. We have 3 total 608ZZ roller bearings. We have our extruder body, our small gear, our large gear, our assembled J-head hot end with the thermistor and ceramic cartridge heater, our NEMA 2 fender washers, a hob bolt, 5 M8 washers and 2 M8 nuts, and then over here we have our extruder M3 50mm with the springs over them, and then our motor bolts and our Allen keys to tighten them. So what we've already done here is we've already fitted 3 of the LM8 UU linear bearings on the underside of the X carriage. So we're going to go ahead and fit the 4th one in there. We're going to do this using zip ties. And your printed slot should have some grooves in it so that the bearings don't slide this way. So they should be fit in there. The zip ties are just to keep them from falling out of the bottom. We're going to cut off our extra slack. Set that aside. I'm not going to need that again. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and firstly mount the extruder body onto the X carriage using our adapter plate. So we're going to take the hot end. You'll see there's a groove about right here on the hot end. And we are going to fit that inside of the adapter. And you'll notice on top of the adapter there's a little slot for it to fit into. It fits smoothly in there. Now we're going to place this in the carriage with the opening facing behind where the belt clamps are. So you want the opening facing this way. And if you'll notice on top of your adapter there are 3 holes on either side. We are going to mount this in there crooked just because when the whole entire thing goes on the X carriage, it is going to give the extruder more room to move because of the motor. So we're going to go ahead and put this end in the first on this side, closer to the belt, and this end furthest away from the belt. And we're going to use our M4 20mm bolts for that. Go ahead and put that through there. And do the same on the other side. And you'll see it'll slide so you can kind of fit it right in the middle. And then on top of that, we are going to put our extruder. We want the motor to be facing away from the belt clamps. So we're going to fit our extruder in there and then fit the bolts all the way through, as you can see here. And then we're going to go ahead and tighten up real fast. It's kind of hard to get in there with your fingers at first. We're going to go ahead and use our Allen key. Alright, same for the other side. Okay, the extruder body is mounted to the X carriage using the adapter. We've got it facing the right way. You'll notice here that the reason we did that was so that the ceramic cartridge heater could slide out through this little groove here, and the belt could, the gear would not interact with the ceramic. Alright, we're going to go ahead and set this aside now for a second. Pick up the motor and our small gear and go ahead, and you'll see on the bottom of the small gear there's a slot for an M3 nut. So we're going to go ahead and slide that in on the motor. And we use an M3 8mm just so it doesn't collide with the wing on the extruder. You could use a grub screw if that's more handy to you and if you have one. But this we know will work just fine. And you can adjust the gear's position on the motor as soon as you get it on there. But we're just going to go ahead and put it there. Now we are going to take it and attach our motor to the extruder body using our M3 10mm. There we go. We got the first one on there. I'm just going to go ahead and do 2 right now. Obviously we'll attach the third one. And we're ready to get the whole thing finalized. Hey, you know what? I'll go ahead and do all 3. Does not hurt. Okay, we are ready to attach the hop bolt large gear assembly to the back of this. So we're going to set that down for just 1 second. Take our large gear, and you'll notice there's a spot on the large gear where the head of the hop bolt fits near perfectly. So it slides right in there. So now we are going to need to put 2 fender washers and 3 M8 washers over that. Slide it into the bearing on the outer side and match it up with the small gear. And you can judge and make sure that the hole where the filament is going to go through lines up exactly with the teeth on the hop bolt, and that'll allow it to pinch it and pull it through. So then on this opposite side, we are going to go ahead and slide our other bearing right there. 2 M8 washers and 2 M8 nuts. Alright, and now that is on there. So lastly, we are just going to need to put our idler on there, and we will be finished with the extruder. So we have our idler here, like I said earlier, fitted with the 608ZZ bearing and the smooth rod. It's just going to slide right over this notch right here, and we're going to use an M3 30mm to secure it in there. Now it's very possible that some of your holes might have shrank during the printing process, so this one might need to be screwed pretty much all the way in. So we'll go ahead and do that real fast. There we go, it's going in pretty easily. Alright, so that's threaded enough in there now to where we know that it'll stay. And you're going to want to get a nut in there on the other side to keep this from coming out, you know, mid-print. And then all we've got to do after this is throw in our M3 nuts into the top of the extruder, stick the springs over them, and pull them through. So I will go ahead and finish tightening this since it's so close. It's getting a little bit tough. Alright, we'll leave it there for now. So next you'll notice on the top of your extruder body here, there's going to be 2 slots for M3 nuts to go in, and I've already slid them in there and they should fit pretty perfectly. So just slide 2 of them in these 2 slots, and then take your M3 50mm, slide the spring over, and then push it through the idler and tighten it into the M3 that we have in there. Just, you can add some tension right there, just enough. And then same for this side. Alright, now go back, make sure everything's tightened up. But this is your assembled Wade's extruder with the X carriage already attached. And yeah, looks good. So we'll get ready to mount this on the X-axis when we're ready. Thanks.